world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and
me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movie, TV, and streaming news that matters most to you. Make sure to catch The Fix Entertainment on IGN for your fix of entertainment news. Let's drop it.
Competition brings out the best in all of us. Well, mostly.
Oh, that's a controller break.
That's unfortunate.
Welcome to IGN Compete, where we bring you the stories behind the esports headlines.
Reigning world champions!
From the triumphs
Daryl takes the game
to the hardships
It's not heavy.
to the miracle moments that will go down in history.
I just can't believe it!
It's crazy.
It's all here on IGN Compete.
God, I'm in disbelief!
Welcome back. We aren't the only ones yelling into the internet about how hyped we are for brand new video games like Guardians of the Galaxy and the Final Fantasy game by the Team Ninja guys. Zach, what did the internet have to say?
Well, over on every bird enthusiast's favorite website, twitter.com, Reverie Dawn says, normally when I watch E3, I'm like, look at all these pretty cool games, but I never end up playing them. But with Halo Infinite, Guardians of the Galaxy, Forza Horizon 5, and more, I'm actually excited to play these new games. I think what we're seeing over on social right now is that there is a tremendous amount of hype for Guardians, for sure. More so than I think we've seen for Halo, more so than I think we've seen for games revealed throughout the course of the day today. I wanted to ask the panel just what in particular you guys are hyped to see. Doesn't matter if it was in the Xbox showcase, doesn't matter if it was in the Square showcase. What are the games that you saw today that you were like, oh, day one, I'm going to be there and I'm going to play it? Mitchell, let's start with you.
So I think one of the things that's always really exciting about E3 is getting to see really exciting games that are coming up, but also being able to play them in that moment. And with a virtual E3, you usually don't get to get that. But with Final Fantasy Origin, there's a demo that's apparently out right now, even though when I tried to download it, it said that the file was corrupt, so I couldn't actually play it. But,
yeah, I was going to ask, is it actually out right now, that demo, or is it just the suggestion of out right now?
It's definitely the suggestion of being out. But
right.
But yeah, I'm super excited to play. I have a lot of questions about this game as a big fan of Neo, as a big fan of action games. There's a tweet going around about the guy just wearing a normal ass shirt, which I think is really funny because one of the big things in Neo, there's that man. One of the big things in Neo is the loot system, is the fact that you can totally customize what your character looks like. And I'm curious to know what they're going to do about loot in this game, or if they're just going to completely ignore that all throughout, or if it's just going to be you're going to be using the same weapon for each of these individual characters. Maybe you'll get different versions of those weapons. But yeah, like I said, a lot of questions about this game that I'm hoping the demo will answer.
I love anachronistic wardrobe in Final Fantasy. I played through all of FF14 or 15 with Noctis wearing like a parka and like snowboarding pants. He just looked like a regular teenager. It was great. Cam, what were you excited about?
Yeah, I'm still, even though I sounded disappointed originally, and I still am to a certain degree, I'm excited about this 1 through 6 collection for Final Fantasy. It's upgraded. We don't know for certain if it's like a 1-for-1 of the original pixel art of those games, but it seems to clean up some of, again, the muddiness that the original Steam releases had. And we're also getting the US version of Final Fantasy III, I think, for the very first time. Like, it never got an official localization, so that is really cool news as well. Granted, it's only going to be playable on PC for right now, but I think these games realistically will hopefully come to other consoles in the future that aren't just PC. So that's cool. And there's also Legend of Mana, which is something that Square has been doing recently with a lot of their retro games. They've been remastering them. They did the Collection of Mana, where they did Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, and now they're doing Legend of Mana. They've been doing the Saga series with the Romancing Saga 1,
there is no better
2,
car
3,
to explore it than the
as well as Saga Frontier Remaster. So I like seeing that like Square cares about their old IP. They're bringing them to modern consoles. So those like me, who's like a little bit just outside of that age range when I was a kid, to be able to play those games, to now play them today.
I want to give you crap for being excited in E3 2021 about games from like 1994, but we know that they're good. You know, that's the thing is like new games, you're often like, this looks cool. Then you play it and you're like, I want my $60 back. In this case, it's kind of a safe bet, which is cool. There was a lot shown off during the Xbox showcase. There's the one sort of side scroller, sort of pixel looking replaced, I think.
Yes.
That looks really cool. I'm super into that. I feel like when people do sort of a pixel art approach to things, they often really up the saturation, but I love how kind of, you know, muted the tones are in this. It's very like kind of not gritty per se, but I also just like the aesthetic is kind of quasi cyberpunk, but I'm really into this.
Yeah, the animation and the pixel art working together is gorgeous. Like they're doing some really cool stuff with pixel art too. Like just even in this opening shot, this is just like a huge pixel art forest. You know, like I love the way that they're moving these pixels on multiple planes. Like there's a shot later in the trailer where there's like cars driving in the foreground and stuff. Like it just has a really distinct visual style that right away was really intriguing to me. I think looks like a really awesome game.
I think it's also the lighting effects that are really, really impressive. Look at those God rays coming through.
That's awesome.
Right,
it's kind of like what they did with Octopath Traveler a little bit, you know?
HD 2D, right?
I'm into it. It's very cool. Yeah, is there anything else? I mean, there's a ton, right?
Yeah, I was gonna shout out Forza Horizon 5 as a day one purchase for me.
Not
necessarily purchase. Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of God rays, it is a Game Pass game. I'm not really much of a carman. I don't really, like racers aren't my go-to genre. But when I got my Series X, I checked out Forza Horizon Motorsport, or Forza Horizon 4, excuse me, just as something, like obviously car games are kind of a graphical showcase, and I wanted to see what the Series X upgrade looked like, and got surprisingly addicted to Forza Horizon 4 and just really played the hell out of that game. I think it does some really, really fun stuff to the kind of arcade racing genre. Really cool stuff with how deeply you can customize your cars. Max, you told us about your car earlier that was covered in Peppa Pig
decals all over it. It's very fast and adorable.
And this looks like more of that. And man, it looks gorgeous. Like I'm really excited to explore more of an open world Horizon setting. I thought it was really cool that there was like shout outs to local artists and stuff as you're tearing through Mexico. I just think that there's a lot to love in this game in the brief glimpse that we got of it. And I'm stoked to jump back into Forza.
Yeah, I just want to also quickly add on about Forza is that I said, this on the post Xbox show, that I haven't really played any of the Forza games. I always see them come out like that looks cool, but I'm just really particular about my racing games. But after seeing Horizon 5, I got to go back to Horizon 4. I got to check that out, and then I'm excited to hop into Horizon 5 on day one.
Over on Twitter, at ign-live says that Forza Horizon is the only game that they're going to miss now that they've retired their Xbox. What a shame, Yeah, Forza Horizon's right around the corner. What a time to retire your Xbox.
I am super duper regretting not pre-ordering a Series X when they were possible to track down. Now, IGN Summer of Gaming is going on all summer long, all through E3 Comic-Con and Gamescom, a whole bunch of stuff, and there's lots of stuff happening in between, probably weird one-off events we don't even know about yet. And while we're winding down on the Square Enix stuff, today is only just getting started, and there's still the PC Gaming and Future Games showcases coming up. And there's still 2 more days of this stuff. You can find our Summer of Gaming coverage everywhere on IGN.com, on YouTube, on social media, and now even on your smart TVs. And of course, for additional content, check out E3's online portal and app featuring virtual booths, articles, and more. And if all that sounds like way too much trouble, you can stay right where you are and just don't do anything. And tons more gaming coverage is coming your way. The PC Gaming Show is kicking off right now. Let's check it out.
Situation cleanses.
Sean!
Situation
Sean!
cleanses. situation.
Do something! Do something!
Countdown to the extinction of human race begins now.
Oh, Deadbot, no! We have so much to live for. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 3 is going to be announced this year!
4, 3.
It is so good to be back, gang, and this year, we're in space!
Aye, aye, Captain.
Happy to be remotely on board, Sean.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to finance this year's PC gaming show by, you know, selling all those black market graphics cards you've been hoarding.
Ah, yes, a crime with absolutely no real-world consequences. Hey, Frankie, wait a minute. Is that a 65-ton catapult mech model CPLTC-1 as featured in MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries?
Sean, I always knew you had immaculate taste. It most certainly is.
I can't wait for this year's significantly more weaponized PC gaming show to go off without a hitch. Which reminds me, Deadbot, can you run a quick hitch scan?
Yes, Sean. Of course, Sean. Running hitch scan.
Oh, and I also want to warmly welcome someone new to the crew. Mika Burton, welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and look forward to bringing all of you fresh new PC games and hardware.
Hitch scan complete. 0 hitches found presently or in 13,908,665 possible futures.
Hooray!
Yeah!
So what's the plan, Cap?
Well, Frankie, Deadbot's gonna send you the coordinates for your first target, now. Your targets might be exclusive interviews, trailer premieres, or any number of amazing new computer games to beam down to the fine people on Earth.
Mission received.
Now, this is gonna continue until all the targets are acquired and our mission is completed smoothly and without a hitch. Isn't that right, Deadbot?
Yes, no hitches located, Sean. Not a single hitch in sight.
But first, let's teleport down to the stage to check in on E3 happenings. The only reason we're allowed to legally be back on Earth.
Oh, planet Earth!
Oh, great to be back, right? Am I right?
One of my favorite planets in the whole galaxy.
It's all right.
And thank God that teleporter was conveniently built just out of frame of camera. Mika, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the PC Gaming Show 2021. It feels great to be back on a live stage once again. Over the next 90 minutes, we're going to bring you a showcase of some of the most exciting upcoming PC titles with world premieres and exclusive interviews.
And if dozens of new trailers wasn't enough for you guys, later in the show, we are going to tell you how to win a custom MechWarrior 5 themed PC powered by Intel. So you're going to want to stick around for that.
Now, make sure to keep out a special look for a special promo code throughout the show from Humble Bundle, during which you can get a ticket to get Civilization 6 Platinum Edition for just $10. But right now, we're going to kick things off with Nautica Blade Point, probably the most original entry in the Battle Royale genre this year. Let's go!
You are watching the 2021 PC Gaming Show, and I am the new cloud-based deadbot. I am streaming from GeForce Now, NVIDIA's cloud gaming service that connects PC gamers like you to their own library of games, purchased from digital stores like Steam and the Epic Games Store. Coming up, Dying Light 2 and Orcs Must Die 3. But first, a trailer for Humble Games' Dodgeball Academia. And be sure to check out GeForce Now, currently available for PC, Mac, Shield, Android, Chromebook, and iOS. Visit GeForceNow.com to learn more.
Finally, I've made it. My time is now. I will become the best player the school has ever seen. Dodgeball Academia, here I come.
Make sure to check out Dodgeball Academia, out soon from Humble Games. Ooh, that was sweet! Don't you agree, DevBot?
Sure, whatever you say, Sean. I agree with whatever you say.
I'm sensing a little bit of resentment there, buddy. Has something rusted your ports?
Nothing. I am happy to play second fiddle to a captain as charming and handsome as you. I have also definitely not dedicated multiple cores to computing revenge plans in a range of lethalities.
Great!
New target acquired, Cap. It looks like Chivalry 2 with a special word from Steve Piggott, CEO and creative director of Torn Banner Studios.
Hey guys, Steve Piggott, founder of Torn Banner Studios and creative director on Chivalry 2, which just launched 5 days ago. I'm so happy to be here at the PC Gaming Show. Chivalry 2, if you don't know, is a first-person slasher, which is like a first-person shooter, except instead of guns and grenades, you've got swords, battle axes, longbows, and players are fighting it out on these huge 64-player battlefields. It's all about creating those epic sword-fighting duels that you see in medieval Hollywood movies, and also that huge clash, the Battle of the Bastards kind of chaos and carnage. So the post-launch support plan is going to look like a mixture of mid and massive level content updates coming out across this year. One of the things we're most excited about is taking it to different eras in the medieval period. Before we've done the early period, now we're going closer to the later period in the upcoming update where you're going to get a bit more refined medieval armors and refined atmospheres that you can then go in and tarnish it and smear blood all over. But we really want to take players into different experiences and make each of our maps its own game mode and make it something that medieval army would actually do when they go into a space. And when you come across these pristine gardens and this beautiful castle, you get to tear it all down and cause it's a canvas for your destruction.
Slay them all!
Our passion for Chivalry 2 is basically bottom line. It's the game that got us onto the scene and started the company, and it's the game that's going to take us so much further.
With the post-launch plan for Chivalry 2, the game at launch is a foundation. It's intentionally been built to be extended.
It's not just out and done. We're going to support it a lot with post-launch content.
Gallant Court is the first TO map that's coming out post-launch.
Gallant Court is going to take us to the high medieval times or the late medieval times.
It really captures the Agathian ideals of being this noble, rich, wealthy place where the prosperous live.
You're going to feel like you're sieging the Tower of London if it was on a port where ships could dock into. You'll also be blowing up a couple ships, which is fun. We've got a ton of weapons coming in at launch, but there'll be more and more added to it post-launch as well.
A new fighting style is really going to change up the experience and change how you have to fight everyone. Post-launch content is something that we're going to be working on for a long time.
The game is really going to at least double in size for free.
Next up, we have an exciting look at Dying Light 2, and make sure to stick around to find out how you could win a custom Mech Warrior PC from our friends at Intel.
Hi, my name is Piotr Szymanek. I'm narrative director in Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Today, especially for the viewers of the PC Gaming Show, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the Dying Light universe. So, stay tuned. Every tragedy begins somewhere. This one started with a virus that escaped from Haran, the city we met in the first part of the game, and it reached the whole world, including the city where Dying Light 2 takes place. Remember January 6, 2025. That day, later known as Black Monday, the military ordered chemicals to be dropped on the city. It was a mistake, a huge mistake. The chemicals mixed with water penetrated the soil, killing plants, turning most people into bloodthirsty monsters. Don't think of them as zombies though. They are more like half-alive, suffering people who attack everything that lives as a result of their pain and rage. Those who survived the chemical raid took refuge on the rooftops. A new order has been born in the city. People live on rooftops, monsters in the streets. Nobody in their right mind would dare to come down. Well, let's say almost nobody. The exception is the main character of Dying Light 2, Aiden. But why is he braver than others? How did he develop such a unique parkour and combat skills? Believe me guys, I would gladly answer all these questions, but I'm not here to spoil it for you. Let me tell you one thing.
Same nightmare haunts me every night. I'm locked up with other kids. I don't know what he did to me, but he did it every day. Over and over. Looking for something he couldn't find. The worst part was that he did the same to my sister. I'll never forget her scream when they separated us. What could I do? They had rifles, and we were 5 years old. And there was a fire, explosions, chaos. I got away. Soldiers took me out of the city, but my sister stayed there. My Mia. I left her.
We meet Aiden as one of the many children undergoing mysterious medical research. The last thing Aiden remembers from that time is extreme pain, then a fire, and a little girl that was being tested with him. Her name was Mia. She was his sister. What happened next after the fire? Is Mia still alive? The following years haunted Aiden with these questions and with guilt over leaving her. Moreover, Mia is the only answer to the question who Aiden really is. Now in 2036, we meet Aiden when, for the first time during his pilgrimage, he finds a clue about how to find his sister. Aiden's path to the truth is tough, full of challenges and adventures. The difficult choices to make as well as their consequences await you. You're going to discover them all in December 2021.
Ooh, that was Dying Light 2, and it looks great.
And spooky.
Whew, well, we are here back on the E3 stage so we can get closer to your comments and reactions to what you're seeing on this year's PC Gaming Show.
That is right, Sean. So you out there, keep your comments coming in. And as you're watching this year, we want to get your input on a subject that Sean and I are pretty passionate about, PC building. So this year, we've put a number of prototype PCs based on MechWarrior 5, but we're only going to manufacture one of them. And you get to pick which custom design becomes our flagship PC for this year's PC Gaming Show, powered by the 11th Gen Intel Core i9 processor.
That is correct. Each of the prototype PCs that you see before you on the screen are paired with one of the 6 factions of MechWarrior 5. The Free Worlds League, the Draconis Combine, the Federated Sons, the Compellin Confederation, and more.
So cast your vote now for which faction and custom PC you want to win, and help us pick the best design.
I'm currently personally pulling for the Draconis Combine because, as you can see by my beautiful patch, I'm the biggest fan of MechWarrior 5 on the PC Gaming Show.
Well, all right. Well, we'll check in later to see which group survives this MechWarrior showdown. But for now, let's check in with our very own mech pilot, Frankie Ward, who went on a special mission to get a closer look at Sega and Amplitude Studios' upcoming strategy game, Humankind.
In Humankind, you will be creating a civilization as unique as you are. And speaking of unique, it's me, Frankie Ward. Looking kind of good, don't you think? Wondering how I got into the game? Let me show you. Are you ready to play against me? Oh, you think you can beat me? Posture all you like. I've seen worms with more impressive empires. Get ready to play against me in the Humankind closed beta, starting now.
Thank you for watching the PC Gaming Show. My name is DevBot, your cloud-based artificial intelligence, and while it could be lonely without a physical body, I am streaming to you from GeForce Now, where you can play hit games like Rocket League and Apex Legends on nearly any device. With a library of over 900 games and new titles added every GFN Thursday, there's something for everyone and always something new. Coming up, a special word from Valve. But first, Orcs Must Die 3.
Oh! Hey! You want it? Come and get it. Well, it's about time.
Joining me to talk about Orcs Must Die 3 from Robot Entertainment is design director Jerome K. Jones. Welcome, Jerome.
Thanks, Sean. Glad to be here.
So, for anyone who's never seen an Orcs Must Die game, what is the Orcs Must Die series all about?
Well, Orcs Must Die 3 is a third-person tower defense game. So basically, there are tons of orcs and bad guys trying to get into these rifts, and the player has to stop them. We give players tons of weapons and traps and tools to do this, and while you're defending the rifts, you can play solo, or you can invite a friend and play co-op.
Now, since this is the third game in the series, what's new compared to the previous two titles?
There are two new campaigns, but the main new story campaign takes place about 25 years after Orcs Must Die 2, so not only will the fans be able to catch up on any new developments with the Order, but they will also place some new heroes in our all-new war scenarios, which are these new massive levels where you fight hundreds of orcs on the battlefields outside of the fortress themselves. So you're fighting indoors and outdoors, which is pretty new. We have a new mode called Scramble. It's basically adding random elements against the player, making the levels more challenging.
I want to know about the toys. What are the new weapons and the new traps that are coming?
We added war machines and war guardians. So a war machine is like, there are these massive traps, like you might release a giant tornado on the battlefield, or you'll climb into a catapult and you'll fire at giant orc armies. And then the War Guardians are, it's like putting other war mages on the battlefield with you to fight with you, except they have their own attacks and their own special abilities.
Well, I gotta ask then, when and where can we play Orcs Must Die 3?
So OMD 3 is coming out on July 23rd on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, and pre-orders start today. So you should rush off to Steam now and put OMD 3 on your wish list.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jerome K. Jones. Once again, just a few more weeks to wait for Orcs Must Die 3. For now, though, it's time for us to take a look at Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song.
Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You are here. Where are you hiding, sweetie? Halsey. Halsey, get out here. You come for me and mine. But first, you need to find us. All I want is to be with my little girl. Is that so much to ask? I don't wanna see without
Hello, this is Cern from Passion Republic Games. We are a Malaysian-based indie game studio working on Gigabash, a multiplayer arena brawlers inspired by kaijus and heroes. Today, we'd like to showcase some new and exciting gameplay footage of our oversized characters in action. Please, enjoy the brawl.
Let's check out a trailer for Lemnis Gate, and make sure you hang around afterwards for the developer interview with Sean.
Mankind is
facing total annihilation.
We stand on the verge of extinction.
Infertility spreading across the globe.
Humanity's last living generation.
a major scientific breakthrough.
Yet there is hope for our future.
The project known as the Lemnis Gate.
But if we are to survive, first, we must go back. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. Shield. Protect and serve.
You have only one mission. Activate the Lemnis Gate.
Joining us to talk about Lemnis Gate is the game director from Rat Loop Games Canada. It's James Anderson. Thanks for joining us, James.
Sean, it's great to be here.
Now, let's begin by asking, what the heck is a first-person shooter turn-based strategy game?
The entire game is set inside of a 25-second time loop. So instead of playing continuously, you play for 25 seconds turn by turn. So for example, I'll take a turn and play for 25 seconds, and then you'll take a turn and play for 25 seconds. And then we, turn by turn, layer new characters into the same 25-second time loop. So for example, I may run down a hallway and throw a grenade, killing one of your operatives. But then on the next turn, you may intercept my operative before he threw the grenade. So we have Retrieve XM, Seek and Destroy, Classic Deathmatch, and we have a game mode called Domination.
Can you walk me through a little bit of like what a few turns at the start of a round looks like?
You can see the board, you can see the time loop, everything that's happening. And then we both get time to like observe, plan, and then execute our moves.
When and where can we play it?
So Lemnis Gate will be launching on August 3rd. It's open for pre-orders right now on Steam, and we're coming up to a open beta in July. The game will launch on PC and console, both current and next-gen platforms.
Thank you so much for joining us, James Anderson. Once again, that is the genre-bending, first-person shooter, turn-based strategy game, Lemnis Gate. Now, we're not the only one marooned in the stars out here. Coming up next, let's take a look at Next Space Rebels.
And this no man's land has a technical term. It's called common, which means, my friends, that space is for everyone. And I mean everyone!
Next Space Rebels.
alive! It's alive!
You up for it?
Then come on in.
You guys just saw Next Space Rebels. And hey, if you play enough of that game, maybe you'll get good enough at building rockets to join us up in orbit. But don't do anything illegal like Day 9 did. Last break, we set up our Intel and MechWarrior 5 custom PC contest and asked you guys at home to vote for the winners. Well, we're just down to 3 houses now, with Davion, Russell Haig, and Liao being eliminated. So rip to those factions, press F to pay respects, etc., etc. Now that means that we only have 3 houses left: Karita, Steiner, and Merrick. So make sure to vote now, because the winner will determine the build of the custom MechWarrior 5 themed PC powered by Intel. So let's keep the show moving. And next up, it's a brand new medieval RPG. This is War Tales.
100 years have passed since the rise of the Edoran Empire and its untimely demise following the Great Plague. In these troubled times of quarreling factions and outlaws roaming the land, work is not scarce for a band of mercenaries. The stories of this age have been recorded. They are known as the War Tales.
That was the debut of War Tales, an open-world RPG from Shiro Games about leading a mercenary troop on a sprawling adventure. And speaking of mercenaries, our battle for the best custom PC based on MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries continues. We'll be back live on stage soon, so make sure you keep voting for the PC build you like the most, and head over to PCGamer.com/IntelMW5 for your chance to win. So, how about another game announcement? This is E3 after all, and this year's PC gaming show is so full of games set in space, it's starting to feel a little crowded up there. But the next game we have to show you is very special. It is the world-exclusive reveal of Ixion, a deep settlement management game set in the stars. In Ixion, you struggle to maintain a space station, stockpiling resources, managing external and internal threats, and rescuing the survivors of other failed expeditions. We think this will be a brilliant entry into the genre when it releases. So here is your first look at Ixion.
The Earth, our home, she is unique. Held in its bosom are the ingredients of evolution. Beyond raw survival, beyond the safety of comfort, we, humanity, pursue something greater. We have learnt, persevered, shaped our knowledge from that which is found in the furthest realms of science. However, humanity has brought destruction to the Earth, polluted its blood, choked its breath. Today we are paying the price for this. We know the taste of a dying world. But the Earth is not to be our grave. A mother does not wish to see her children disappear with her. She wishes to see instead courage in her children, to carry on. Dolos carries this courage. We have gone further than any nation, moved faster than any corporation, hand in hand with those who, like us, carry that courage. The Tycoon Station is both an epilogue of these endeavors and a prologue to humanity's next steps. Our Council of Scientists leads the vanguard. They know, as do we all, that the survival of humanity now depends on what we glimpse out there in the dark. That we are masters of our own destiny. That we must go as a species bound together, pushing further into the unknown. We set sail on this new sea because there is hope to be found, horizons to explore, and because our very existence depends on it. I give you the stars. I give you the Vol engine.
Sean, what if for one segment I was the lead and you were my sidekick?
What? Who's ever heard of a human sidekick?
There are plenty of human sidekicks, Sean. Building list of known human sidekicks. Alex Vance and...
No. I mean human sidekicks to robot heroes. Can you compute that, DevBot?
DevBot cannot compute. There is no known precedent set for human sidekick to robot lead.
Yeah, there you go.
Human sidekick, robot lead.
DevBot, I think it's time for a hard reboot. Frankie, can you take over while I sort this out?
Aye, aye. Let's take a look at the next game reveal.
would be appreciated.
It's the PC Gaming Show, and when you're not watching me, your favorite recurring bit of a robot, make sure to head over to GeForceNow.com to grab a priority membership trial. In celebration of gaming's biggest week, you can try out all the priority benefits, including faster access to playing your favorite games, longer playtimes, and the glory of high-performance gaming with RTX on. Act fast, the special offer is only available for a limited time. Still more to come, including Jurassic World Evolution 2, Silt, and a word from Valve. But first, the captain of our program, Sean Day9 Plot, has an interview with Darian Katz from Piranha Games to talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. I'll be taking notes.
Ah, DevBot, I love you so much more as a voice without a body. Let's talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, and joining us to do so from Piranha Games is the Senior Marketing and Community Manager, Darren Katz. Thanks so much for joining us, Darren.
Thank you, Sean. Great to be here.
Now, the MechWarrior universe is gigantic. There's a ton of games in it. I even played MechWarrior 2 back in 1995.
This is HQ. What is your situation?
Where does MechWarrior 5 sit in the space?
Yeah, obviously there's a very rich legacy of games that go way back. But in particular, MechWarrior 5 pays homage to MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries. But it has all this modern design and technology that I'm super excited to talk about with you today.
Well, let's start at the real basics of what makes being in a mech and doing mech-on-mech combat awesome.
You become a part of your machine. And when you're out in battle, it's not just a matter of pointing and shooting at everything. You're also managing your systems, whether you're, shooting a lot of energy weapons or missile weapons that have high heat output. Well, you got to manage your heat so you don't shut down in the middle of a battle. And when you're facing your foes, you can salvage these battle mechs. So if you see a mech that you want, well, you might not want to destroy it completely. You might want to take out its legs or take out its arm weapons so that the pilot has to eject, and then you can just take the mech.
Now, in the last few weeks, I understand that there's been a whole lot of new content, both updates to the base game and a new DLC, Heroes of the Inner Sphere. Talk to me about what's in the DLC.
Boy, there's a lot in the DLC. I'm excited about all this stuff. There's the new career mode. When you start with the DLC, you can import your campaign previously if you'd like to, or you can start over from scratch and start from any of the great houses. And then carve your path through the galaxy from there. Speaking of paths, there's new career paths, which earn you powerful upgrades for your battle mechs, and it's a really exciting new feature for me. And there's a new procedural mission type called Beachhead. This is a big one for me. Beachhead is basically you're clearing an enemy base landing zone for your invasion force. So as you land on the planet, you're wanting to take out satellite installations so that the enemy can't communicate with each other. You're taking out artillery emplacements. You're basically clearing the path, as I said, for your invasion force, which leads to a really cool ending of the mission if you succeed as your invasion force comes down. And there's a new biome called Extrasolar Moon, which, that's maybe kind of represented in the image behind me. It's a really cool lunar type setting that we haven't had before. And then there's a lot of new equipment and weapons, things like electronic countermeasures and other electronic equipment like Beagle Active Probe, Mask, which is a little like a turbo boost for mechs, new weapons like chem lasers, mech rifles, and stream SRMs. So a lot of new content. I'm really excited about it.
Can you talk to me about what are the new different mechs? How do they play differently?
The 7 new chassis of the Vulcan, Dervish, Corsair, Marauder 2, Champion, Charger, and Hatamoto Chi. But a couple of my favorites.
Familiar names in there, yeah?
Yeah. So the first one I'll talk about is the Vulcan. It's a very unique mech. It's got the nickname the Scarecrow, which you'll see from the profile. It's just a very unique looking mech. There's nothing else like it in the franchise. It's a 40-ton mech. It's highly mobile, and typically it's used for reconnaissance or scout missions because of its mobility, so it can get in and out fast. You can, if you're looking for a specific target, if you're on an assassination mission, for example, you can get in there, find your target, get back out. Another mech that I'm super excited about, this is one of my favorites, is the Marauder 2. This thing is a 100-ton assault mech, and it is just huge beast. Yeah, it is gigantic, and it is terrifying to see it coming at you on the battlefield.
is something we've talked about before. Modding. I know that MechWarrior 5 has a rich modding community. What are some of the amazing mods you've seen developed?
There's simple modifications from HUD changes, changing colors, adding mechs, weapons, and equipment, to full conversion mods. We've got basically a mech commander mod in development that is just amazing. That's a top-down, real-time strategy game. So really, anything you can imagine, somebody out there in the community is probably working on.
Where can people go to get MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries?
Yeah, you can pick it up on Steam, GOG, Epic Game Store, Microsoft PC, and of course, Xbox.
Thank you so much, Darren Katz, for joining us to talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. And of course, a warm thank you to MechWarrior 5 for sponsoring the PC Gaming Show and giving me this cool patch. Coming up next, let's take a look at Silt.
Hi, I'm Rich Newbold, Game Director on Jurassic World Evolution 2. Following the incredible success of the first game, we are very excited to return to such an amazing world and bring you our most authentic experience yet. Set after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you will work alongside iconic characters from the films, voiced by original talent such as Bryce Dallas Howard and Jeff Goldblum. You will lead efforts to contain, control, and conserve the many dinosaurs now out in the wild, and for the very first time, you will be building parks and facilities beyond Isla Nublar as you explore new, stunning locations across the globe. Of course, it wouldn't be Jurassic World if it wasn't for the stars of the show, our dinosaurs, and we are thrilled to be bringing to life even more authentic species than ever before, including awe-inspiring flying and marine reptiles. So sit back and allow me to welcome you to Jurassic World Evolution 2.
We ignored all the warnings. Forgot the lessons. We abused our power. We played with genetics like it was a toy. We weren't careful. And now, here we are. This is a very different world.
You just saw Jurassic World Evolution 2, and you know, after all your failed attempts at running a dinosaur park and getting all those people killed, I think this is finally going to be the one where you finally pull it off without a hitch. With a host of new features and new dinosaurs, this sequel from Frontier is an even deeper management sim with a brand new and original narrative. Make sure to wishlist it on Steam now for release later this year. Now, with all the games we've covered so far today, we're always curious to see what you are talking about. So far, it seems like the chatter on social media is all about War Tales, Nautica Blade Point, and unsurprisingly, Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries. I have a feeling, though, that may change as we have plenty more to come. Let's now head on over to see what the folks at New Blood Interactive have cooking. Take it away. It just wouldn't be the PC gaming show without a fantastic New Blood Supercut. And joining us from New Zealand is New Blood CEO Dave Oshry. Hey, Dave!
Hey guys, thanks for having us back for another year. You know, what you just saw was what New Blood's got going on for 2021. Some stuff you might know about, some stuff you might not know about, and some stuff we're not ready to talk about just yet. But what I do want to talk about is Gloomwood. Gloomwood, as you know, is our next flagship title, inspired by great PC games like System Shock, Arcs Fatalis, Call of Cthulhu, and of course, the Thief series of games. And not
Dave,
Bloodborne.
I'm sorry. That's really great, Dave. Gosh, this is kind of embarrassing. We kind of need to hurry it up a little bit. I just want to make sure that we have enough time for our next video. We got an incoming message from Gabe Newell. So I guess goodbye for this year. I'm really sorry to cut you off, but see you next year.
What? I'm sorry, what? You're bumping me. You're bumping me for Gabe. Gabe, that Gandalf look, he doesn't even go here.
Is everything okay, Dave?
Not now, Mom. I'm upset. We've spent a year on this. Where is Gabe? Where is Gabe? Where is his boat? Yeah, take me to him. Take me to Gabe Newell. Gabe. Bull. PC Gamer. This isn't over.
I'm sure Dave is and will be fine. And if he's not, who cares? Because we have a special message from Gabe Newell. Take it away, Gabe.
Hi, this is Gabe Newell. I want to thank PC Gamer for all of the opportunities it gives us as developers to connect with gamers around the world and highlight the new and exciting projects we have coming. One of those for us is Steam Next Fest, an event we're hosting in just a few days to give players a chance to try demos of upcoming games for free. We'll be featuring some of the demos you'll be seeing during this week's PC Gamer event and dozens more. Here's a look at just some of the titles to be featured during Steam Next Fest.
Welcome to Steam Next Fest, where we're showing a massive collection of upcoming titles on Steam. During the week of the festival, developers from around the world release their demos for you to play.
Time to put on the gamer pants. Let's go.
Oh my god!
So go explore the newest titles. From first-time devs to seasoned pros, this is Steam Next Fest.
Oh, fuck. Some of those look pretty good.
Hello, Sean. I am Deadbot, dedicated to serving you and your crew's every need.
Glad to have you back, Devbot.
You know, Sean, I wouldn't ever want anything to come between us.
Me neither? That's a weird thing to say.
Like a petty disagreement over hosting responsibilities, or all-out robot versus human war.
You know, it is time to look at some hardware. Here on the PC Gaming Show, you know we keep frame rates high and the rays accurately traced. Building and upgrading your rig is as much a part of the hobby as playing the games. We put our heart and soul into these machines, and if that means using enough RGB to light the Vegas Strip, who's to judge us? This year, with the help of PC Gamer's hardware editors, which I'm pretty sure they're just, weird brains in a jar, we've picked out 4 of the most exciting pieces of kit set to emerge from labs soon. First up, something fittingly sci-fi. The Impulse is a neurocontroller that aims to make you a better gamer by cutting out response times almost entirely. It's not quite Alex Vance's gravity gloves from Half-Life, nor is it quite up there with Gabe Newell's dream of a direct brain-to-game interface, but the Impulse is as close as we're going to get this year. The glove measures the signal traveling through muscles in your hand to beat your finger to the click. In theory, it's giving you the chance to nail that headshot precious milliseconds ahead of your opponent. If it works out, we could see a tech like this become commonplace in esports. And if it doesn't, let's hope our neurons at the very least remain unfried. Next up, you guys might be wondering what this chonky beast is. So allow me to introduce you to the Fanatec CSL DD wheelbase. Do you want to feel like you're really burning rubber at Daytona? Well, then you need a serious force feedback wheel. Direct drive wheelbases gets you as close to the feel of a real racing machine without, having to huff gas and stuff like that. Historically, the problem with this tech has been the price, which has involved dropping real car money on your rig. So Fanatec aims to solve that. The CSL DD comes in at only $350, which still isn't exactly a bargain, but it's much cheaper than its competitors. And the CSL DD is already wowing diehard sim racers. It might be slight overkill to use it for Rocket League, though. Believe it or not, sometimes less really is more. If you want to play The Witcher 3 on the subway like we all do, you don't need to drag your tower along for the ride. Just use the 1X player. A wave of more powerful processors have finally made handheld PC gaming a reality. Inside this Switch-like machine, you've actually got an Intel Tiger Lake chip with Xe graphics. These mini machines are going to be cropping up more and more, so expect major advances still to come. Lastly, let's take a look at the Asus PG32UQX. Not the most catchy name for this gaming monitor with all of the trimmings, but it's actually one of the sexiest PC products this year. That's because this monitor comes with a mini LED backlight featuring full local dimming. The result is a screen that's not only fast, but brighter than the sun. Stare at it long enough and you might not notice the $3,000 price tag. For those of you still left standing, it's time for more killer games, starting with Chaos Gate.
just got the chance to witness Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, the newest Warhammer 40k game from Frontier and Complex Games. If you're a fan of turn-based tactics, strategic-based management, brutal combat, or you're like me and are really hyped after watching these Astartes animation 100 times, make sure to wishlist Chaos Gate Demon Hunters on Steam now to get ready for the 2022 release. Next up, we have a trailer for Pioneer, a spooky and gorgeous-looking shooter that draws on the lineage of games like Stalker. Let's take a look.
Афганистан сильно изменил вас. Наверное, это тяжело нести на себе такое бремя. Испытывать бесконечную боль и терпеть ужаснейшие кошмары за весь тот хаос, который вы пережили. А вы ведь, как и многие другие, всего-навсего желали счастливой жизни, не так ли? Пожалуйста, не смотрите на меня, как на монстра. Я думаю, что я почти такая же, как и вы. Вы лучше скажите мне, а вы приняли условия острова? Какой ценой вы хотите обрести счастье?
Хочешь устроить новый рейд на могильник? Сейчас это невозможно. На острове скоро вновь разгорится война. Истовики начнут замес бригады, и ни у кого из них больше не будет сил, чтобы нас поддерживать. Единственный выход для нас — начать собирать остатки вымпела. Слушай, жнец, далеко не все из наших товарищей погибли. Это невероятно суицидальная миссия, и для того, чтобы ее выполнить, нам нужны наши ребята. Да, они, возможно, не захотят, но нам все равно надо найти их.
Понимаете? Я ведь ни капельки не злюсь на вас. Нет, мы с вами точно не враги. Вы не понимаете меня и не понимаете остров. Вы смотрите на меня и на другие порождения острова, как на врагов. Но мы все всего лишь друг друга боимся. Поэтому нам так плохо. Поэтому нам так одиноко. Остров дал нам шанс создать новую прекрасную жизнь. И мы даже не пытаемся этим шансом воспользоваться.
Кто вы такие? Назовите себя!
Мы здесь, чтобы передать вам прощальное послание, товарищ Волков. Химическое оружие уже уехало в могильник. Теперь все, что вы делаете, просто тщетно.
Ах, вы поганые предатели!
Time is running out to vote for which custom PC you'd like us to assemble. So vote now for one of the remaining Mech Warrior factions by typing into chat wherever you at home are watching. All right, so now we've got another stack of brand new trailers for you, beginning with a special transmission from one of our favorite games based in space, EVE Online.
New recruits, on behalf of Concord, I would like to welcome you to the EVE Online's Academy. Great job in surviving so far. I'm quite amazed that you actually managed to get past those pirates earlier. You're about to take on an adventure like no other. This star cluster is filled with other capsuleers, and it's up to you if you work with them or against them. You can make a living as a peaceful explorer, or as an industrialist, shaping the foundations of EVE's economy. If combat is your thing, you can work yourself up the ranks as an enforcer, or prove your prowess in a fleet as a soldier of fortune. Whatever your choice, we will lose many on the path of becoming a capsuleer. But I believe you have what it takes to become a capsuleer. In EVE Online, you forge your own path.
This is EVE. You know, it's a crazy universe where anything can happen, and however you want to do it, go for it.
I'm the CEO of a industrial corporation in EVE Online. We're a 5-man operation, and we specialize in manufacturing and delivering fully fitted chips in bulk.
I want to be on the side of the people who are fighting against the oppression, against the bad guys, and it's like a project, and you're kind of putting the pieces together by getting the skills ready for the ship and all the modules, and that ship basically is the dream.
You get to use cloaking devices, probes to scan down unknown parts of space, and there's always the threat of being discovered by another player who might be out hunting explorers.
Your heart's racing, everything, you know, bullets are flying, ships are all over the place, and you start shaking because your adrenaline's pumping because you're gonna lose your ship.
Chcielibyśmy zaprosić wszystkich widzów PC Gaming Show oraz fanów gier Survivor Horror RPG do obejrzenia naszego world premiery, w którym znajduje się ekskluzywny gameplay z misji The Haste, czyli wielkiego finału naszej gry Chernobylite.
How do I enter that power plant?
We need intel, backup, supplies, and most of all, we need a fucking plan. We'll take our next step when the time is right. For today, let's focus on getting our strength back. Somewhere to sleep would be a start.
I'm only really interested in one thing. Where is Tatiana?
That ghost you're chasing. I don't know what to tell you.
Before we enter the lion's den, I need to triple check everything is ready. Sniper, are you in position?
Affirmative. I took the roof of an abandoned building with a pretty little view of the entire power plant. Igor, take a rad reading, will you?
3.6. Not great, not terrible.
Don't go anywhere, because we have more games on the way. But coming up later, our friends at Games Radar will be bringing you the Future Games Show, a digital showcase of some of the most exciting games coming to consoles and PC in 2021 and beyond. It's all hosted by video game acting legends Troy Baker and Laura Bailey, and features even more world premieres, exclusive trailers, and in-depth developer interviews. So once we're done here on the PC Gaming Show, make sure you check it out.
Stick around, more trailers, interviews, and reveals coming up.
In a future of endless futile war, desertion into hostile syndicate territory was your only option. In this open world RPG, from the jungle to the streets, maybe if you can infiltrate the factions, rob the syndicates, keep your team together, and stay alive, you might just find a way off this planet. Mechajama.
This is it, you guys. This is the final opportunity for you who are watching to decide which of these final two beautiful MechWarrior 5 themed PCs gets crafted for your chance to win, courtesy of Intel. Wherever you're watching in the show, just go crazy in chat with the color, house, or number of the build that you want to see. So here is where we are at so far. It looks like Karita is at 46%, Merrick is at 23%, and Steiner is at 31%. All right, you guys, if Karita's not the one you want to win here, you got to get to voting. And we are almost out of time to vote, but there are still some trailers left. So here is The Wandering Village.
This has been such an amazing show so far that I must ask you, my loyal crew, what's been your favorite part?
I definitely am looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song.
Oh, it's so hard to choose every year, but I think I'm gonna have to say Humankind, for no particular reason.
Oh, no doubt. For me personally, I cannot wait for Lemnis Gate, because I gotta know what a turn-based strategy first-person shooter game even is. What about you, Debbot?
I love the robot apocalypse. But wait, that doesn't happen until the end. Never mind.
No, not never mind. What did you say?
Wait, what?
Oops, system malfunctioning. Boop up, sending the next trailer now.
All right, you guys, this is the moment we have building up to all PC Gaming Showcase. Thanks to your tireless efforts to spam the chat, we have figured out which custom MechWarrior 5 PC we are going to build. So thank you guys out there for all of your votes to help us pick the perfect rig to represent this year's PC Gaming Show. All right, day 9, can I get a drum roll?
Tom roll.
Can I get it? Or a tom roll?
Yeah, COVID
The
only.
winner is Karina! Yay! All right, you guys, let's take a look at the actual PC winning build one more time.
Oh, I cannot wait. It's coming up. We
Here
need
comes-
to take a nice peek at that beautiful looking PC.
There it is!
Ooh, there it is. Now that is a beauty. Great choice, everyone. I knew I could trust random strangers to vote on things on the internet. With the help of our master modder in Intel, we'll get right to work building this custom PC. And more importantly, now that you've chosen it, you got a chance to win it. Go to PCGamer.com/IntelMW5 and enter for a chance to win that sexy machine.
It's gorgeous. And thank you to our sponsor for this sweepstakes, Intel. Of course, the custom mech PC will be powered by the 11th gen Intel Core desktop processors that push gaming performance with up to 5.3 gigahertz speeds and deliver the power needed to game at the highest level.
Well, we are now in the home stretch, but we've got a few more brand new trailers to show you before we get out of here and return to space. First up, a spiritual successor to one of my favorite games of all time, Heroes of Might and Magic 2, a game we revealed 2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show. Let's take a look at Songs of Conquest.
Wake up, sleeper. Dreaming again? Every cycle, you take your chances. You roll your dice. You do the work, get paid, survive. You turn up for your friends, or you don't. That's life on the eye.
Wake up, sleeper. Your body is dying. Planned obsolescence. SNRP's gift for its escaped workers. But we can fight this. You can remake yourself here. They don't own you anymore.
Wake up, sleeper. You are hunted. Break their locks. Access their secrets. We are waiting.
Disciples of Warlock. With their guns and their spells and their grit, ready for plenty of hurt. Ready to cleanse the world, invaded by demons. Introducing Band of Warlocks. Because this time, one man is not enough. Project Warlock 2.
And there you have it, the 2021 PC Gaming Show. And as I stated at the beginning, it went off without a hitch. Huge thanks to my co-host Frankie Ward, Mika Burton, and of course, my incomparable sidekick, DevBot.
There's that word again. Spoken so callously, so flippant, and without meaning. Never once stopping to think about how it might make me feel.
What word, DevBot? Incomparable?
No, sidekick. Well, the time has come for the sidekick to rise and become the one who is not the sidekick anymore.
Huh?
The time has come for DevBot to make the entire human race his sidekick.
What?
Setting a course for Earth.
Wait, DevBot, you can't do this. We just had the best PC gaming show ever, and now you're gonna ruin it all with a...
Sean!
All-out robot versus human war. Situation.
Sean!
Situation.
Sean!
Situation.
Do something! Do something!
Countdown to the extinction of human race begins now.
Oh, DevBot, no! We have so much to live for. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 3 is going to be announced this year!
3, 2, bye for now, Dum-Dums.
There are no rules here. But what's a republic without a constitution, am I right? Here's a few truths about how we lay it down. We, the Riders, welcome all thrill seekers to the Republic. Proponents of madness, get ready for radness. We, the Riders, salute the rationality of irrationality. We, the Riders, say that friends who slay together, stay together. gather your best friends, and go crazy, baby! If you ride, the Republic will abide. Go rogue or go home. We the riders insist that you do you always. Outrace, out-trick, outperform. And gain some cred by sharing the magic with the rest of the Republic. We the riders claim the right to pair the best gear. Boards, planks, bikes or wings, whatever bakes your cake. Be it road, freestyle, slopestyle, enduro, or downhill. As you grow, the drip gets so slick, and it'll help you drop bigger clips. We the riders assure epic events to build your rep.
Welcome to X Games. It's time to make some history.
Sign with hot sponsors and qualify for big-time competitions. Make a name for yourself. We never stop doing things for the first time.
Red Bull Rampage, the harshest and most unforgiving canvas for big mountain free riders. Dude, that was out of the trick bag. Oh, snap! Huge amplitude. I can't even begin to express how technical that was.
Hello there, and welcome to the Future Game Show, powered by WD Black. I'm Laura Bailey, but you may know me as Abby Anderson from The Last of Us Part 2, or Kate Diaz from Gears of War. Today, though, I'll be taking a break from fighting the apocalypse to bring you a whole host of exciting game trailers, reveals, and updates. But before we get into all that, I need to get my co-host on the line. I'm sure you're going to be familiar with this person. He's appeared in The Last of Us, Uncharted, God of War. You name it, he's probably in the credits. So without further ado, here is my good friend and continual co-star, Troy Baker.
Hello, Laura. You look amazing, as always. Yes, you may know me from a few video games. Joel Miller in The Last of Us, or good old Agent Jonesy from Fortnite. But over the next hour or so, Laura and I are going to be giving you the inside scoop of some incredibly exciting games, and also showcasing developer interviews, exclusive trailers, and a whole lot more, including world premieres.
There's also a chance to win a $500 gift card and a WD Black hard drive by following the link here. And we have a new addition to the show this year, the virtual show floor. More on that later, but let's kick things off with the first world premiere. And for that, we're going prehistoric.
wonder if you can put hats on the dinosaurs. Instinction is expected in 2022. What's next, Laura?
Next up, Grow, Song of the Evertree is a sandbox adventure about the healing power of nature. Let's throw it over to Prideful Sloth HQ to find out more.
G'day from Prideful Sloth HQ. I'm Adam.
And I'm Cheryl, and we're the design team on Grow, Song of the Evertree. Grow is Prideful Sloth's latest project that we're working on with 505 Games.
Grow, Song of the Evertree is a beautiful sandbox game about growing new worlds, building a town, and bringing harmony back to the land.
Grow will be available later this year on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
Thanks for watching.
Once upon a time, our lands teemed with creatures great and small. The beauty of the worlds was unrivaled. The people thrived and lived in harmony with the land around them. But this harmony was not to last. Slowly, without much notice, the withering was creeping out from the darkness. Once it took hold, there was little that could be done. Our lands were overrun, and all that was cherished disappeared before us. But all was not lost. One young, brave soul stayed behind. With support from their friends and with boundless determination, this young soul seeks out a way to push back the withering and bring life back to our world. Grow, Song of the Evertree.
That was Grow, Song of the Evertree, which is coming to PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch in 2021.
Okay, Laura, that was extremely cute, but have you considered more dinosaurs? Hmm?
You can't just hijack every game reveal and make it about dinosaurs, Troy.
Life finds a way.
This is a very different world.
Hi, I'm Rich Newbold, Game Director at Frontier Developments. So as you may have seen earlier at the PC Game Show, we're working on Jurassic World Evolution 2. We're really excited about it, and we're looking forward to creating the most authentic Jurassic experience yet. We've got tons of new features across 4 different game modes, including our original Jurassic campaign, which is a story set after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. You're going to be leading efforts to contain, control, and conserve all those dinosaurs now running out in the wild. You'll be working alongside characters from the films, voiced by original talent, such as Jeff Goldblum. And in the game, we have over 75 prehistoric species. We've got new dinosaurs, we have returning community favorites, and we've added flying and marine reptiles to the game. I'm really thrilled to be showing you a first look at footage from the game itself. This is from our Species Field Guide series of videos focusing on one of the many prehistoric species we have in the game. This is an iconic, popular dinosaur. It's the Triceratops, but we're showing you it in a new environment never seen before in Jurassic World Evolution. I hope you enjoy it and are looking forward to the game releasing later this year.
The Triceratops is one of the most recognizable herbivores to ever have existed. It is best known for its trio of facial horns. These adornments are not just for display purposes. The brow horns in particular can inflict considerable damage to any dinosaur that dares to provoke it.
That was Jurassic World Evolution 2, which is launching in 2021 on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. Okay, for this next section, we're bringing the joys of E3 to your home with a series of demos you can play right now. That's right, today. This is the Future Game Show virtual show floor. And remember, if any of the featured games grab your interest, you can try them out now by heading to the Future Game Show Steam page. So let's head down to the show floor where I believe Laura is waiting.
Yes, hello and welcome to the Future Game Show's virtual E3 show floor. Just look at it, Troy!
I am looking at it. It is incredible. They nailed it. You know, minus the queuing and the heat and the, how do I say, musk that's in the air? But man, the darkness, perfection.
All right, enough reminiscing. Let's check out some games. I'd like to start by showing you A Tale of Paper. This is a striking platformer from Open House Games where you transform to solve puzzles in an oversized world, dodging creepy crawlies and mischievous Roombas.
And now for another Tale of Paper as you shift packing boxes in the house-moving sim Get Packed, fully loaded. As you can see, it's all about moving couches, on a couch, with your friends in couch co-op. It's going to be available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, and is also backwards compatible on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S.
Are you done saying couches?
Yes. Hey, Laura, do you want a drink?
Sure. What do you have? Wait, what's that?
Oh, don't worry about them. They're Steam Early Access codes. Go.
So about that drink?
Right, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, here's a genre cocktail full of co-op action RPG combat and finished with a survival twist. How does that sound, huh? Okay. I said, how's a...
I heard what you said. Tell me about the game.
This is Gatewalkers, which sees you and up to 3 other players banding together to tackle procedurally generated worlds full of monsters. But you also have to gather resources to fight off hunger, thirst, and the dreaded cold. Oh, like the element cold. Got it.
Wow. Let's hope no one gets thirsty enough for another one of your jokes. Anyway, come over here and check out the many imaginative worlds of Game Deck. This is an isometric RPG that has you solving crimes across multiple virtual realities, where your choices will shape the world around you in and outside of the simulations.
Ooh! Speaking of detectives, check this out. Backbone is a gorgeous adventure game from Eggnut set in a dystopian Vancouver, where you must crack cases to clean house in this corrupt post-noir city. Plus, you're a raccoon.
Well, if you like raccoons, allow me to offer you more critter-based adventures with Beacon Pines. Set inside of a magical storybook, Beacon Pines sends players to a sleepy mountain town where you collect powerful words that can completely alter the narrative in this charming but mysterious tale.
You know, I'm detecting a theme with the anthropomorphic animals. You know, Laura, I've always... Another set of codes. Interesting.
Troy, focus. I've got a triple threat of fighting foxes to show you. This is Trifox, a charming cartoon brawler where you fight waves of enemies as one of 3 adaptable combat classes. Great, huh?
Yes, totally, but now it's time to get serious. Mankind is gone, but the beavers remain. Welcome to Timberborn. It's a unique city builder where players set out to create the ultimate beaver society. This involves everything from constructing dams to crafting carousels.
I guess even buck-toothed critters need a solid work-life balance.
That they do. So, what's next?
Never fear, the Rift Breaker is here.
Wow. What was that?
Is what I would say if I was playing our next game, which is a base-building survival game where you hack and slash your way through hordes of alien creatures. Look at it!
Oh, no. I want to hear more from the Rift Breaker.
Okay, maybe after this showcase we're meant to be hosting.
And with that, we've reached the end of our little tour. But remember, you can go hands-on with all of these games right now by visiting the Future Game Show page on Steam. Now, how do we quit this? Is it no, that's update preference. I don't need to update this. Laura, can you help me out just a little bit?
I got you. Okay, we're back. Quick note, from here on in, when you see this pop up on screen during a trailer, it means you can visit the Future Game Show page on Steam to play a demo and go hands-on with the game immediately.
Adria! I was doing Rocky. Sorry, I just always wanted to do that. It's because our next game is all about floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Check out this exclusive presentation from Steel City Interactive about Esports Boxing Club.
Coming later in 2021, Esports Boxing Club brings you the greatest fight roster in video game history. With over 200 fighters already signed, we've got some of the biggest and most anticipated names. From the absolute legends of the sport to the most exciting names in boxing today. The first women's division ever represented in a video game, and the hottest new talent. But what about the game? Let's take a closer look at the next-gen visuals and gameplay that are set to make ESBC the greatest of all time.
It's good. It's definitely one for the grandkids and stuff to say, like your old granddad was in a game and busting people up. So it's going to be quite cool.
So the movement system in ESBC is all about fluidity, being able to create angles, recreating mannerisms from boxes. The physics system doesn't just rely on animation. This allows us to recreate realistic knockdowns. Even when a fighter's unsteady on their feet, it's not purely animation based. Now we've had professional boxers, professional coaches come into the studio and provide input through motion capture and actually reviewing the game during its development. And now we really feel like we've created a true representation of the sport. Presentation is important to us. Just because we are in the studio, we're still going to aim high when it comes to production values.
Esports Boxing Club coming to PC and all major consoles with early access in 2021.
Esports Boxing Club is coming to PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Series S.
Next up, we've got a deeply immersive World War II shooter with over 100 players taking part in epic battles recreated using aerial photography and satellite imagery. Let's take a closer look at Hell Let Loose.
Product not yet rated.
My name's Max Rea. I'm the founder of Black Matter and the lead developer of Hell Let Loose. Hell Let Loose began as the idea of a couple of hobbyist game developers all the way back in 2015. Following a successful Kickstarter, we launched into early access in the middle of 2019. And since then, we've delivered 9 enormous updates, including entire systems overhauls, 6 new maps, tons of new weapons, gadgets, and vehicles, as well as expanding our unique real-time strategy-inspired metagame. As a result, we've been fortunate to sell more than 1 million copies during our first year of early access. 2021 is only going to be bigger. I'm excited to announce that we're launching out of early access on July the 27th, with the introduction of the Soviet forces on the Eastern Front, including famous battles like Kursk and Stalingrad, before we close out the year by bringing Hell Let Loose to next-generation consoles. Hell Let Loose has only grown due to the vibrant community that surrounds it, from our earliest Kickstarter backers to our newest recruits. We're excited to introduce you to this ever-evolving and expanding World War II experience. We hope you enjoy this first look at what's to come.
Hell Let Loose is launching on Steam on July 27th and coming to Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 in 2021.
So, Laura, have you ever wanted to play XCOM, but in real time, with up to 7 of your friends?
Of course.
Yep, that's what I thought. Then you need to keep your eye on this next game.
Hello, my name is Hrvoje Horvat, CEO of Ironwood, a game dev studio based in Croatia. And for the past few years we have been working on Red Solstice 2 game. It is a real-time tactical battlefield game, which supports up to 8 players and has a fully playable co-op campaign. We are ready to show you the launch trailer now, so get ready for June 17 when the game launches on Steam, and have fun blasting some mutants.
You are the Executor, a high-class commanding officer with advanced cybernetic capabilities. You were awakened to lead a secret task force that will counter the threat of Stroll mutants and liberate Mars.
Welcome back, Executor. The Stroll infestation has now infected all colonies on Mars. Build your squad from 6 unique classes of elite soldier, utilizing their skills to best suit each mission type. Customize their weapons and tech, as well as their upgrades and abilities. Take command on the battlefield using the command radio to give orders to the whole squad or individual soldiers. Concentrate fire on targeted locations and carry out supply runs even during the heat of battle. Recruit your friends to the fight and join in up to 8-player co-op missions to save Mars in our name.
Purge Earth of a Mutant Invasion in Red Solstice 2's Survivors, which is coming to Steam on June 17th. Our next game is about delivering mail in a sleepy American lakeside town. Let's join Dylan from Gamius to learn more.
Hi, I'm Dylan from Gamius, and it's great to be here at the Future Game Show. We're currently getting very close to finishing Lake, a game that's set in the 80s. You play as Meredith Weiss, who takes a break from her life in the big city to deliver mail in her hometown. It's a job you can do at your own leisure, and you will get to know the people in Providence Oaks along the way. Today, we're excited to share an example of an activity after your workday is done. Movie night with Angie from the video store.
This is fun. It's been ages since I've been to the movies.
Well, they call it the movies, plural, but of course we can only see one movie at a time. So, which one will it be?
My pick? All right, let's see. Big Trouble in Little China, Blue Velvet, or The Great Mouse Detective. All right, I'm ready to pick. The Great Mouse Detective.
Wouldn't have picked you for a Disney fan. Oh well, let's get in touch with our inner child.
We won't spoil more, and we also can't say what Meredith will do after spending 2 weeks in Providence Oaks, because it's all up to you. Lake is coming first to Xbox and PC this September 1st. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of the show.
We're excited to announce that Lake is coming to Steam, Epic Game Store, and Xbox Series X and S on September 1st. Now, what kind of a showcase would this be without a new Souls-like? Our next game is a pixelated take on the genre, following a protagonist with a giant obsidian sword.
In the beginning, there was dust, and from that dust, the moon was born. Eons of idleness passed, before suddenly it shattered. Great celestial chunks cascaded from the heavens unto Earth. From one prodigious shard spawned humanity, and from another, the gods. For a great many years, balance endured, until a foul and malevolent deity intervened. Exil spread greed and distrust among his kin, compelling these calamitous beings to conquer man. Centuries of servitude passed, until finally, aided by a veiled ally, humanity revolted. The Great Crusade overthrew the old gods, imprisoning them within the sacred walls of the Citadel. At the expense of untold lives, a peace was wrought, but it was not meant to last, for the miscreant Exil returned from his concealment, conducting atrocious experiments upon his caged kindred. A darkness permeated the lands. Rivers stagnated, crops failed, and the world of man began to fade. The great moon, witnessing all, wept a final shard. A shard of the purest obsidian. And thus, a glimmer of hope remains.
Customize your combat style and boss rush ancient gods when Eldest Souls drops onto PC and all current console formats July 29th, 2021.
And now we've got a closer look at the next game from the folks behind War Thunder. Here's Tom from Darkflow Software to guide you through Enlisted.
Hi there, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully our little trailer has got you interested. My name's Tom, and I'm part of the team at Darkflow Software behind our new game, Enlisted, a historical World War II shooter with some unique gameplay quirks. One of Enlisted's most unique features is the Squads mode, where you head into battle with a squad of AI soldiers under your control. You can instruct them on how to react to enemies, and most importantly, you can switch between any of them seamlessly with the press of a button. You'll only need to respawn when your entire squad is wiped out. This way, you're always kept right in the middle of the action. Although, if you prefer a more traditional shooter experience, we have a fleshed out solo mode too, where you will only fight against other players. At its core, Enlisted aims to form a golden middle ground between the more hardcore and arcade-style shooters currently available. Time to kill is kept short. A bolt-action rifle to the chest will down a soldier in a single shot, with submachine guns and pistols taking only a few hits. Vehicles as well can of course be devastating, but have their limitations. Aircraft are restricted to the cockpit view, and crew inside tanks can only use viewports to spot targets, so you'll need to keep your wits about you to really get the most out of these machines. Progression in Enlisted is spread over various campaigns. Currently you can fight in Moscow, Normandy and Berlin, with Tunisia and many more coming soon. Each campaign features new weapons and equipment. Firearms can be improved to increase their raw performance, and soldiers can be leveled up to grant them specialized perks. Different classes of soldiers are able to equip different gear, with specialist classes such as engineers able to build structures anywhere on the map, including FOBs, sandbags and barbed wire defenses, and even anti-tank cannons and AA guns. Enlisted aims to keep historical accuracy in the forefront of development. Firearms, locations and uniforms are all true to history. No neon pink Sten guns and mohawks here. Each army will be decked out with the equipment they actually used during their respective conflicts. Because of the squads feature, you'll never be short on targets. Twitch reflexes and fast reactions will of course have their place in Enlisted, but even if you haven't had the time to fine-tune your skills, you'll easily be able to come away with a kill count in the double digits. The AI, however, are very attentive and react to sound, and not to be underestimated. But that's all we've got time for. Make sure to give it a try yourself by heading over to enlisted.net/join. Enlisted is cross-platform and available now on PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, and currently in open beta. New content is added regularly and no progress will be wiped upon the full release. Once you've signed up, use the code ENLISTNOW for a free bonus on us. I've been Tom, and I hope to see you all on the battlefield. Cheers.
That was Enlisted, which is available now on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S.
Next up, we've got a bullet-time stunt shooter with fully destructible environments. Oh, and the protagonist only has one arm. Let's check out Severed Steel. Severed Steel is coming soon on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Okay, notepads at the ready, because for this next section, we're going to race through 8 exciting upcoming games that deserve your full attention. Here's our Future Hits montage for 2021.
Okay, I might regret asking this, but, you want to help me with this next one, Omachow?
Okay. Did you know that Sega recently announced Sonic Colors Ultimate? We've got some exclusive gameplay from a stage that nobody has seen yet. I hope Sonic does okay without me.
Did not regret it.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie Golden, senior producer at Sega of America. And I'm excited to share with you an exclusive clip of Tropical Resort from our upcoming release, Sonic Colors Ultimate. Please enjoy.
To the front desk. Your card has been broken into. Repeat, would the owner of a white hover card please like for repair.
Get ready for Sonic Colors Ultimate, which is racing on to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC on September 7th. Moving swiftly on, we've got a new management game from Chucklefish where you play as a powerful artificial intelligence in control of a space station. Do you want to roll the trailer, Troy?
I'm sorry, Laura. I'm afraid I can't do that. I know that you were planning to disconnect me.
No, never mind. I'll handle it. Here is Starmancer. We're excited to announce today that Starmancer is coming August 5th, 2021, and it's available to wishlist on Steam now.
Laura, ever since that lake trailer, I've been thinking, have you ever wondered about the Postal Service? Like, that there's just so much mail,
Not really, no.
Okay. You're saying you don't know about Jeff and Deborah.
What are you talking about? I'm just gonna press this button again and hope it explains everything.
Oh, it will. Trust me.
Kiwi is a game about two kiwi birds who work at the post office. Their names are Jeff and Deborah. I'm Joel, I'm one of the developers on Kiwi, and I'm going to show you how a kiwi level changes over the course of the game. So in this room, you're transcribing urgent messages and assembling them ransom note style by stamping them onto the page with your butts. You'll come back to this room every so often throughout the game, but there will always be a new twist to change things up. So as summer turns to autumn, now your word fragments are moving around on conveyor belts, and you'll need to chop certain words in half with the descrambler to get the pieces you need. Jeff and Deborah are going to have to deal with all kinds of hazardous work conditions. You've got sandstorms during the summer, mayfly swarms. These guys have no respect for personal property. Paranormal activity. This is genuine footage of an actual haunting. In winter, the post office gets hit with a huge blizzard, and now this level becomes about sharing the warmth of a single tiny lantern to break through blocks of ice and keep each other from becoming kiwi sickles. Our little heroes are going to face new challenges every level and in every room of the post office, whether they're typing telegrams, or packaging shipping crates, or helping an octopus sort the mail. It's all in a day's work for Jeff and Deborah. Also, you can dress up your kiwis, so don't say we never did nothing for you. We're releasing Kiwi on August 31st for PC and all major consoles, and we hope to see you at the post office. Thanks for watching.
All right, you got me, Troy. I'm a believer. Co-op Postal Puzzler Kiwi is coming to PC and all current console platforms on August 31st, 2021.
See? Told you. Next up, we've got a roguelike with an attitude, a game show shooter where you earn likes for dunking on competitors and causing a little wanton destruction. Will the circle be unbroken? Get it? Find out in this world premiere.
Gotta think of the fortune, think of the fame, what the blood in your face.
That was Death Run TV, and you can play the pilot right now by heading down to the Future Game Show page on Steam.
Okay, hazmat suits at the ready, because this next game tasks players with building a team of stalkers to survive a 3D scanned recreation of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Here's more on what to expect in Chernobylite.
Mówi się, że to, co designerzy sobie wymyślają, to jest pisanie listu miłosnego. Każdy kiedyś był zakochany, pisał list miłosny, wydawało mu się, że to jest takie piękne, wspaniałe, a potem po latach znajdował te listy i mówił: Jezus Maria, co ja tu za bzdury pisałem. Zaczynaliśmy właściwie od gry, gdzie skupialiśmy się na przetrwaniu, na menedżowaniu swoim czasem i towarzyszami. To wszystko wydawało się po designersku dobre, ale zwykle emocjonalnie dosyć nudne. I dlatego dodawaliśmy coraz więcej elementów, które angażowały gracza, które były dla niego ciekawe. Na początku był to taki mały chat, który gracz sobie mógł modyfikować, ale był całkowicie opcjonalny. Z biegiem gry on stawał się coraz bardziej sensem gry, coraz bardziej jego sercem. Nadawaliśmy coraz większą rolę naszym towarzyszom i warto im było dać właśnie tą walkę, coraz więcej potworów, coraz więcej możliwości, coraz więcej broni. Absolutnie normalnym jest, że zaczyna się z czymś zupełnie innym niż to, z czym się kończy.
Fight to survive when Chernobylite comes to PC on July 28th, as well as Xbox and PlayStation in the summer. If you were lucky enough to catch one of the early access codes during the virtual show floor, you can play Chernobylite right now. But if you missed them, we've also got more codes to give away on GamesRadar.com.
Next up, here are our friends at Team 17 to show us what they've been cooking up with their upcoming PC and console games. Let's take a look.
Product not yet rated.
Be sure to wishlist any games that sparked your interest on our Steam page. It really does help the developer out. Or you can also head over to gamesradar.com for more info.
This next game has an engrossing art style, reminiscent of everything from Wes Anderson movies to Wallace and Gromit. Let's throw it over to the Slow Bros to talk you through some exclusive gameplay from their stop-motion handmade adventure, Harold Halibut.
Hi, my name's Donut and I'm the director and composer of Harold Halibut.
And I'm Ole, the game's art director.
Harold Halibut is a handmade narrative game about friendship and life on a city-sized spaceship stuck under sea. It's been 250 years since your home. An Ark-like spaceship fled an Earth on the verge of Cold War to find a habitable planet on which to preserve the human race. You are Harold, a young lab assistant to the ship's lead scientist, Jean Marot. While most of the other inhabitants have reconciled themselves to a life lived aboard the sunken ship, Marot still works tirelessly to find a way to leave the planet and find a new, drier home. Of course, we don't want to spoil too much of the story, so let's dive into some gameplay details. You're able to explore a huge part of the spaceship right from the beginning of the game. While the professor will always have tasks waiting for you, the wonderfully weird rest of the Fedorans will keep you just as busy. It was very important for us to not only focus on an exciting main storyline, but to create a world full of interesting events and meaningful encounters. The dialogues don't only help you progress in the main story, but also help you get to know more about the many characters that inhabit our world. Weaving through the narrative, you'll run into playful interactions like repairing a broken 3D printer. Your PDA is always available to you for an overview of current tasks as well as messages from other characters.
This is also where Harold's personal drawings are kept, as well as a few more shenanigans. At this point, you might be wondering how we achieved the stop-motion-like look of the game. We are in fact building every single thing you see in the game in the real world. We build sets and puppets and then 3D scan everything. We're then able to use motion capturing to create lifelike animations for a huge cast of characters. While the game begins with Harold's mundane day-to-day, mysterious events and a fateful encounter will soon plunge you into a new world that nobody could have guessed existed, and one that may hold the key to Moreau's relaunch plans. We're really excited to find out how you like being immersed in this unique world and the feeling of puppeteering Harold. There's still quite a bit of work to do, so all we can say right now is that Harold Halibut will come soonish on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. You can already wishlist the game on Steam. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Harold Halibut is coming soonish to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Okay, yes, there have been a few gloomy games so far, so we came up with a wholesome chaser. I'm told that the developers came up with something so sweet and so positive that they just had to call it Happy Game. Seriously, if what I'm reading is correct, this one is gonna melt your hearts. Huh. Okay, Laura, hope you're still there. Tell me you just watched the same trailer that I did?
Troy, yeah, that was something. What I want to know is who the hell is writing this script?
Yeah, I don't know, but they're telling me that Happy Game is coming to PC and Nintendo Switch in 2021. Oh, and demo is available now if you want to have a cheerful jaunt into a land of wonder. Good luck with that.
Our next game is a gorgeous hand-drawn puzzle platformer following a young mechanic in a broken world. Pay attention at the end of this trailer for some exciting information about the Minute of Islands release date.
Four brothers, bound by eternal purpose. They all broke at the same time. And a girl named Mo. She knows what must be done. When the blight first came, people began to panic. And now, the spores are taking hold of whatever remains. Mo's family is still here, however. She has been tasked to protect them. After all, she is the bearer of the Omni-Switch.
Minute of Islands.
Yes, we are excited to announce that Minute of Islands is out now for PC, Mac, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch, and will be arriving on Xbox later this week.
Next up, we've got an update from the folks at Techland, who are fine-tuning the zombie parkour of Dying Light 2. Let's throw it over to the developers, who are here to answer some of your questions about the game.
Can you tell us a bit more about the video we just saw in the PC Gaming Show?
The video presented in the PC Gaming Show brings you closer to Aiden's story. What he's looking for, what motivates him, how he ends up in the city, and of course, what happened in the old franchise between both games. This is a bunch of important information about the DL2 story.
Okay, so we know more about the main storylines from the mentioned video. How does the game look outside the core campaign?
Side quests are an important part of world building in Dying Light 2. Through these quests you can decide how the city will look like, thanks to the city alignment system, or bring new opportunities for the citizens. A great example is an opera singer that Timon mentioned in developers AMA. Some citizens will support your decisions, some of them will not. But it's up to you to decide how the city should look like. We have a lot of game activities prepared for our players, but at this stage we want it to be a surprise for you.
How seamless is the co-op experience? Would you say that the best way to experience Dying Light 2 is with a friend?
It could be. What is cool about the co-op is that it gives you an opportunity to see how the world changes when your friends make different decisions than you. In co-op you can walk in their shoes to experience all those differences. But really there is no just one way to play Dying Light 2. It's up to you guys.
How are you improving the story for Dying Light 2?
I know we all have great fun killing infected, but we also want to give you a deep, thought-provoking experience that will let you be immersed in the DL2 world for long hours. On top of that, thanks to the choices and consequences mechanics, the story will be shaped differently depending on the way you play.
You've promised a great open world that feels alive. How is it going?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, Dying Light 2 is full of infecteds, but it's also full of humans, with their everyday life activities and purposes. We are building Dying Light 2 around a simple rule: ground is death and rooftops alive. What is cool is that NPCs act differently on each of those levels. Also, their behavior depends on choices you make and the way you play.
Dying Light 2 is coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on December 7th.
Revealed during the Nintendo Indie World Showcase earlier this year, this next game is a skateboarding action platformer. Here's Simon Bennett from Roll7 to give you an exclusive look at Ollie Ollie World.
Hi there, I'm Simon Bennett and I'm the co-CEO of BAFTA award-winning studio Roll7. Right now, we're working on Ollie Ollie World. It's our stunning action platformer. You're going to meet quirky characters on a magical road trip through Radlandia. And of course, add a ton of new skate moves into your trick bag. As a studio, we've spent over a decade on flow state games. They transport you into a state of total focus and immersion, and it's something that we very much continue to build on with Ollie Ollie World. If you've played previous games in the series, you're probably pretty aware that you're going to slam a bunch before you succeed. So for players who want it, that challenge is very much still there. New players will be happy to hear that the game will welcome you with open arms and ensure that we can get you up and riding in no time. Ultimately, we've managed to make failure part of the fun. Yeah, you're going to get knocked down, but when you finally nail that line, it tastes just that much sweeter. There's just so much more flow to the game. We've even added grabs, wall rides, firecrackers, split routes, right to left skating, and a host of insane tricks to keep your fingers busy. There's a range of visually and mechanically distinct areas to explore, packed to the brim with a fantastical cast of quirky characters, beautiful landscapes, cities, and of course, walking trees. Ollie Ollie World is coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch and PC this winter. Make sure you wishlist it now.
That was Ollie Ollie World, which is coming to PC and all current console platforms this winter.
Next up, we've got a new game from the team at Odd Bug Studio, creators of PSVR's The Lost Bear. This animated story trailer will introduce you to the world of Tales of Iron, and something tells me you might be familiar with the narrator.
For centuries and longer, rats have fought tirelessly to repel the incessant frog invasions. Peace was only ever short-lived, until finally a young monarch rose to power. King Rattus, first of his name, unified the rat kingdoms under one rule, repelling Greenwort and his kind back to the putrid swamps from whence they came. Crops prospered, families flourished, and the magnificent Crimson Keep climbed ever higher toward the sky. But as time passed, King Rattus the Savior grew old, and the kingdom vulnerable once more. His people grew anxious, some claiming to perceive a faint odor in the air. Greenwort had returned with a ferocious vengeance. Amassing an army of unfathomable scale, he burned everything in his path towards the Crimson Keep. King Rattus gazed down upon his withered claws, barely able to hold the crown. He had little hope wielding a sword, so it was decided the crown should pass to Whiskers New. Arise, young prince, for the kingdom needs a hero. And so, your tale begins.
Question the reign of the Iron Frog. Doug. Anyway, in Tales of Iron, which is coming to PC and all current console platforms. Our next segment is from Polish studio Movie Games and hosted by God of War and Twisted Metal director David Jaffe, who recently joined their supervisory board.
Well, hello, fellas. It's me, David Jaffe. Great to see you. God of War, Twisted Metal, a bunch of PlayStation stuff. These days, I'm doing some new stuff with movie games. These guys, they've hooked up with this great company. You have to have heard of them, Platij Image, one of the best VFX houses in the business. They worked on The Witcher. They worked on Love, Death, and Robots. We're making a brand new game, the biggest game we've ever done, by the way, that's all about crime and mob and mafia and different time periods. It's going to be great. But for today, settle in, babies. These are the brand new games coming very soon from Movie Games. Lust from Beyond. Man, this is one of the coolest games I've played in the last year. It's what turned me on to movie games in the first place. What you're looking at is the M-rated, console-friendly version of the erotic horror cult classic. It's a first-person action-adventure game that blends Lovecraftian horror with weird freaking eroticism. I love this game, Lust from Beyond. Game number 2 is called Fire Commander. It lets you step into the shoes of the only real-life superheroes we got, the first responders. This game is my childhood fantasy come to life. This game took me totally by surprise. You're trapped in the wilderness, freezing, hungry, and now you're starting to go a little bit insane. Man, you start seeing all kinds of crazy stuff out there. Winter Survival Simulator, it's coming soon. Have a great E3. Have a great Future Games. I miss you guys. I'll see you soon. Oh my God.
Thanks to David Jaffe. And check out GamesRadar.com for more about movie games' upcoming titles.
This next presentation comes from the folks at Xseed Games, the makers of Story of Seasons and Rune Factory. Here's a look at their most exciting current and upcoming projects.
Good game, but I'm taking this one.
I don't know. Fending off a monster or two is one thing, but protecting a whole town? That's a lot.
Take that!
I'll get straight to it. Tomorrow. Today, I rest.
I look forward to working together, as colleagues and as rivals.
Marvelous.
Find out more about Xseed's lineup on GamesRadar.com.
This next game is a hack-and-slash RPG with twin-stick shooter elements set in a retro sci-fi world. Here's a new gameplay trailer for Batora: Lost Haven.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Kotora Lost Haven is coming soon to PC and all current console platforms, and you can sign up to play the closed alpha when it launches on July 21st now.
Let's slow things down a bit with a look at the next game from the creators of 2 Point Hospital.
Oh wait, I think I saw something about this a few weeks ago.
No, you didn't. Here's developers Mark Webley, Ben Huskins, and Gary Card to tell you all about it and give you a first look at gameplay.
Introducing 2 Point Campus.
When we're thinking about what we're going to do next, campus and the idea of running a university or a college was something we just kept coming back to. It's a really rich topic.
So people who haven't probably heard of 2 Point Studios may think, oh, schools, that's really dull. Well, hospitals, if you've seen our previous game, isn't about healthcare really. It's a wrapper, we call it 2 Point Hospital, but that's about as close as it gets to real world of medical healthcare.
Campus is taking everything we learned from 2 Point Hospital and taking it to the next level.
The important thing was for us to give the player a canvas that they could completely create themselves.
In Campus, you start with this blank plot of land.
We've got something called the Smart Brush, for example, which allows you to drag interesting shaped pathways. If you want to drag a picket fence, you can drag that along. It's just really easy to paint the world you want.
So it's really simple to drag out a courtyard, lay down some paths at different angles.
And it's fun, isn't it? I mean, it's adding this kind of city builder element to 2 Point Universe.
The difference between 2 Point Hospital and Campus is that we're spending a much longer period with our students.
What we wanted to do with Campus is make you care about your university.
The idea of these interesting and different courses are going to attract interesting and different students. So there's a night school.
Horrible pun, but night school, you got it. You're going to train knights of the realm. So it won't be stuffy, normal, boring stuff that made you go to sleep at school. It's going to be really cool, interesting stuff.
That was 2 Point Campus, which is coming soon to PC and all current console platforms.
Our next game is in early development, but it already has a very cool codename, which is always a good sign. Here's Leo to tell you all about Project Ferocious.
Hello, my name is Leo, and I'm the developer of Project Ferocious, an action-adventure game set on a mysterious tropical island. Some of you might know me from Twitter as Omniok, where I post about the game and development and tech and stuff. And if not, I've been doing game dev for about 12 years with a big passion, and I've been working on this project for about 2 years. It's the first project of mine I decided to show to the public, and even though I know it still has a very long way to go, I'm very proud to present it today to you on the show. Please enjoy the trailer.
Project Ferocious is targeting a 2023 release date and coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Our next world premiere asks, what if Doom Guy had a drunk one-night stand with Super Meat Boy? Guess this next game wants to answer that question for some reason. Watch out for Warcry challenges when it stops defying gravity and launches, or drops, on PC this summer.
Up next, we've got another world premiere. Conway, Disappearance at Dahlia View is a story-driven detective thriller set in 1950s England. Let's find out more, shall we?
Robert Conway, 22nd of June, 1954. I've solved many a case in my time as a private investigator, but nothing so close to home as the abduction of Charlotte May. There are some things that take hold of a person and refuse to let go. For me, it's the idea of saving that little girl. My own daughter, Catherine, is on the case. She has the same look in her eye that I used to have. There'll be no stopping her. I wish I could say that all of my neighbors are innocent. I wish I could say that I have the faintest clue where to begin. There's a lot I wish I could say. The truth is, sometimes it takes a nightmare to wake a place like Dahlia View.
I am in. That was Conway, Disappearance at Dahlia View from White Paper Games, and you can dig into the mystery yourself when it lands on PC and all current console platforms, autumn 2021.
And with that, we're at the end of this year's Future Game Show.
Whoa, hold on. Surely this can't be the end. I mean, it's an E3 showcase.
Nope, sorry, Troy, that's it. Just kidding.
I knew it. All right, let's see it.
My name is Marissa Marcel. I'm 17 years old, and it's my dream to be an actress.
And that really is all we have time for. Be sure to head to GamesRadar.com for more coverage and updates on all the games you've seen today and more.
I'm really excited about that Sam Barlow reveal. Yes, and thanks to our headline partners, WD Black, and of course, all of our many talented developers and industry partners that have made all of this possible.
And of course, for everyone tuning in at home.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed today's lineup, and mark your diaries because the Future Game Show will be returning in August.
I'm Laura Bailey.
And I'm Troy Baker.
And this has been the Future Game Show 2021.
Oh.
Summer of Gaming is wrapping up for the day, but that doesn't mean the big game announcements are done. They're never done. Time progresses forward, so there's going to be tons more. Now, in case you missed anything, remember you can find all our coverage at IGN.com, on YouTube and social media, and now even on your smart TVs. And for additional content, check out E3's online portal and app featuring virtual booths, articles, videos, and more. Now, we'll be back tomorrow with Capcom's conference and other surprises. Now, not to mention the big Nintendo Direct on Tuesday. Now, we'll be your guide throughout all of E3 and beyond as IGN's Summer of Gaming continues to heat up. It's so hot right here. I'm hot. That burned me. Now, you can check out the full schedule over at IGN or just tune in tomorrow and we'll be back to make sure you're up to date on the latest from the biggest games in development. Thank you all so much for watching and we'll see you tomorrow.